Hi guys, my name is Megan and today I have the second part of my book recommendation for books that have school setting for you. So just like the first part of this, Harry Potter has always been one of my favorite school settings. So these are some other options for books that have school settings that are also really great, whether they're magical or not. So the first one that I'm going to start off with is Foolish Hearts by Emma Mills. This book is just really like cute and fluffy contemporary. So this follows Claudia, who kind of accidentally overhears the it couple breaking up, and somehow she gets partnered with the person that is the angriest at her for overhearing. Her name is Iris, and they get partnered up in an English class to do assignments for the year, and they aren't working out together so well, and the teacher makes them sign up to audition for the school play, and from there they just kind of start being friends and they bond over cool geeky culture, whether it's music or playing MMOs online, and video game culture, and just I love the fandom culture in this because it's just so cool. But the school setting is also really fun because you get to see them perform in this play, and you also get to see them interact with all the other students and kind of how they go about making their friendship work and how everybody else treats each other, and it's just kind of like the cool fluffy drama comedy that you need. The next book that I'm going to recommend isn't quite a school setting, but I figure it's close enough that it should count, and that is Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Who doesn't love Camp Half-Blood? And honestly, I figured Camp Half-Blood is enough of a school setting to make it worth it, but it's in here, especially for this first book where Percy is learning how to defend himself, how to basically be a demigod, and how to survive, and it's just like a really all-around great like learning setting for this book. Yeah, I figured this would be like enough of a school setting to get it into this list. So this next book I could talk for days on end, and I will try not to bore you all with it because I've talked about it a lot. So that would be First Test from The Protector of the Small Quartet by Tamora Pierce. This is like my favorite YA book of all time. This follows a girl named Kel who basically goes to school to learn how to be a knight, and she's the first girl to openly do that in this land. Nobody really expects her to actually do it, and she puts all the boys to shame in this. She's like the #1 badass in their class, and honestly I love her to death. She's my favorite character, and she's like the person that I want to be when I grow up. And the school setting for this is just really cool. So basically they're learning how to be knights, so whether that's taking riding classes, like horse riding classes, sword fighting classes, martial arts, like hand-to-hand combat, and as well as regular classes. But there's also like the camaraderie of like a boarding school kind of to this. This is like one of the best like school kind of settings that's out there, and I love it to pieces. This next book I'm super happy to have on this list, and that is going to be Carry On. So it's kind of like Harry Potter in that there's like a magic school where they learn how to use their magic. The main character is also a chosen one. Simon is kind of like the worst chosen one ever, and he just kind of bumbles around and gets into fights and, you know, all sorts of shit. But I really do love this setting for this. It's like, it reminds me very much of Hogwarts, but it also kind of reminds me of like a regular old high school, but they are allowed to have electronics and cars and all sorts of shit in this book, and I really love the school setting for this. And also, all I have to say is the jeans scene, because this book, it just makes my heart happy. It's almost like Harry Potter on crack is what I would describe it as. Next up is one that I've talked about. I feel like I've talked about this quite a bit in like recommendation videos, but that would be Infinity by Sherilyn Kenyon. So this is the first book in the Chronicles of Nick series. So Nick thinks he's just like a regular human going to a regular public school in New Orleans until one day he gets the shit beat out of him and basically ends up working for a vampire to pay off his medical bills. And lo and behold, it turns out Nick is not quite human. He's actually a demon overlord, and a lot of his classmates are actually supernatural. So there's ghosts, witches, vampires, demons, angels, all sorts of really cool, weird shit goes on in this book, but I absolutely love it because he just wants to be a regular kid and get through high school and college, and he just wants to do good. This first book takes place almost entirely at the school, and I believe there's like a zombie virus that goes around, and it starts off with a football team, and the whole football team turns into zombies, and there's redneck zombie hunters, and it's just like an absolute riot. And I love that this has this awesome friend group that tries to help Nick overcome this like zombie apocalypse. at his school, and it's just awesome. Anytime I think of this book, I get a big stupid smile on my face because, oh, I love this kid. He's so much trouble, and actually he reminds me very strongly of Percy Jackson in that he's always in some sort of trouble, and he's got a single parent, and he tries to help his mom as much as he can. He loves her to pieces, and he's basically a mama's boy, and he has the most interesting friends. Like I said, it makes me so happy whenever I think of it, even though there's so much crap that goes on in this. Nick's personality is just amazing. And finally, the last book in this recommendation is going to be Tempest and Slaughter. This one follows Aram Draper and his friends Rhys and Ozorn as they basically go through their days learning how to use their magic at a university. And that's pretty much the entire book. You follow them through their classes. There's not a whole lot of like tension, like plot building so much as this is like world building for this, because there's a lot of shit that's going to go down later, and if you want to know more about that, you should definitely check out the Immortal series, because Aram, who is also Numair, is a character in that series, and you kind of learn a little bit about his history in that series. But this is a prequel series, so we get to learn a lot about him and what led up to him being a wanted criminal for a while. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of like plot building so much as it's like world building in this, but I truly love this setting because you get to visit a location that's only really hinted at in some of Tamora Pierce's other books. Yeah, like the university setting in this is just so like lush and beautiful, and I wanted to sit in his classes with him and just learn how to use magic, even though I don't have magic, because you know, who wouldn't want to learn? Yeah, this is one of my favorite school settings of all times because there's just so much going on and there's just so much that you could explore that it just makes me smile. Alright, so that was it for this round of school centered reading recommendations. I hope you guys liked this video. So if you had to go to a magical school or a school in a different realm, which school would you pick? Honestly, I would either pick Carry On School or the school from First Test because I want to be a knight. Who doesn't want to be a freaking knight? And honestly, learning magic would be so cool. Not gonna lie. It'd be so much fun. If you guys liked this video, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. You can also hit the notification button to get notifications when I post a new video. And if you'd like to follow me on social media, check out the links down below. Alrighty, bye guys!